Today on the CTV News at 5.
A community is about having everything, being well-rounded and having everything available, and skate parks are part of that.
We show you where the skateboard community hopes to build its new park in Lethbridge. Plus, the search for a missing Medicine Hat nursing student is being suspended. And how a javelin thrower training in Lethbridge puts it all on the line for a berth at the London Olympics.
CTV News with Jackie Scantlebury.
Good afternoon. A new skateboard park will likely be built on Lethbridge's south side. Today, the city announced the preferred location, and although the final project still needs to be approved, local skateboarding enthusiasts say they are definitely on board. Kayla Carr explains.
It's an exciting day for members of the Lethbridge Skateboard Association. After years of petitioning the city for a new skate park, some progress has finally been made.
The Lethbridge Skateboard Association, in conjunction with the City of Lethbridge, are here to announce that this is, pending approval, going to be the site of the new skate park.
The piece of land is between 7th Avenue and Mayor McGrath Drive South. The skate park will take up about 10,000 of the 30,000 square feet. The skate park master plan was started in April 2011, and the city looked at 27 potential sites. The city evaluated different areas throughout Lethbridge to try and find the ideal spot. This location was picked because of a number of reasons, including its proximity to a major roadway and other recreational facilities.
If you look around, I mean, we're here in a recreational area. We've got the stadium to the east of us. We've got the ice arena to the north of us. We've got Henderson Pool. I mean, it fits in that case.
Before any work can begin, the project must be approved. A committee has submitted the conceptual design to developers. City managers are optimistic they'll be able to officially announce whether the site is approved in about a month. Both the city and Skateboard Association say the current skate park is outdated and no longer serving a purpose.
A community is about having everything, being well-rounded and having everything available, and skate parks are part of that.
The project will cost about $600,000, with a third of that coming from the city. Kayla Carr, CTV News, Lethbridge.
The Skateboarding Association has already begun working on fundraising the money. So far, they've raised $50,000 out of the $400,000 that they need, and they're hoping to be able to canvass for corporate sponsorships to make up the rest. Lethbridge residents have less than 24 hours to pay their property taxes or be penalized. Payments received after tomorrow will be subject to an 8% penalty. That equates to about $80 for every $1,000 in taxes outstanding. City Hall cashiers are open until 4:30 Friday afternoon. Checks or money orders can be dropped off at the location on the front door at City Hall. Dory Rossiter is here, and we are looking for a drier Canada Day, Dory. I don't know what magic you pulled, but thank you.
I don't know. I think I got a cold in exchange for giving you a really nice Sunday. I think that's the way it worked. But yeah, folks are going to be happy. Even 24 hours ago, we were talking about the fact that we were expecting precipitation on Sunday. Now it doesn't look that way. It looks like fairly cloudy skies, but very nice temperatures right through the weekend. And I'll be taking cold medication. I'll have more details coming up in a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Dory. But you're going to have a lot of happy people on Canada Day. River levels continue to drop in both southern Alberta and BC. Now here's the latest from Alberta Environment. High stream flow advisories remain in place for the Oldman River downstream of Lethbridge and the South Saskatchewan River in Medicine Hat, as well as the Bow River both up and downstream of Calgary. In southeastern BC, flood watches have been downgraded to high stream flow advisories for the East Kootenay, including the Elk River, rivers in the West Kootenay, Upper Columbia region, and the Kicking Horse River. Medicine Hat police have suspended search efforts for a missing nursing student. 23-year-old Amy Lewis was last seen June 11th. Police have already charged 34-year-old Jarrison Stepanski with murder after the fact in Lewis's disappearance, but there is still no sign of her. Officers and several regional groups, including Lethbridge volunteers, have spent thousands of hours searching in and around the South Saskatchewan River. Police say that they have followed all viable leads and will continue searching if they get more leads. They are urging anyone with information to please contact them.
Like there's so many businesses like oil companies and surveyors and whoever else are out there that are just out and about and normal people in their course of activities. If they come across something that's suspicious, to let us know.
The investigative team met with members of Amy's family to discuss the difficult decision, and everyone recognizes that continuing to search without further definitive locations would not be productive. The family and police thank everyone for their assistance. A judge has granted bail to the man charged with trying to kill 2 Alberta Mounties in a shootout in February. One of the officers, originally from Lethbridge. 27-year-old Sawyer Clark Robison was originally denied bail, but appealed the decision, and last night a judge ruled he can be released on Friday. The many bail conditions are still being worked out, but he will have a daily curfew. Robison is charged with 2 counts of attempted murder, accused of shooting constables Sheldon Shaw and Sid Gaudette, who is from Lethbridge, at Robison's family farm near Killam. The officers were executing a search warrant for weapons. Robison's uncle, Brad Clark, was found shot to death inside the home. Robison will have to live in a court-determined location and stick to a curfew. He's to be released today or tomorrow. An RCMP search warrant has turned up a whole crop of stolen farm machinery in southeastern Alberta. Several tractors with the identification stickers removed, a baler, quads, and a holiday trailer are some of the items recovered. RCMP found some of the items at a residence north of Raymond and the rest southeast of Warner. Nicholas David Huber of No Fixed Address and Philip Jeffrey Graham of Warner are each charged with possession of stolen property over $5,000. And police say more charges are pending against both men. They say stolen farm machinery can be hard to track down.
They could remove identification numbers and sell it to another farmer or someone who would have use for that equipment. It would be unlikely that we would be able to check those product identification numbers because we're not stopping tractors in fields.
Now, Huber will make his first court appearance tomorrow in Lethbridge. Graham is set to appear in Lethbridge Court on August 15th. Anyone who thinks their farm equipment is among the recovered items can contact Raymond RCMP. Well, Lethbridge's police chief says officers are expected to use hands-free equipment when driving, but they are allowed to use their cell phone in the event of an emergency. The Lethbridge Police Commission was asked to clarify the policy for using cell phones after a city councillor received a public complaint about an officer who was seen talking on a cell phone while driving. But under the Traffic Safety Act, police and emergency personnel are exempt from distracted driver legislation.
I think the reasons are obvious. We respond to radio calls, we respond to cell phone calls, and we have the MDPs, the mobile data terminals, our computers in our cars right now, and that's how we're communicating. And we've always had that challenge of communicating effectively and safely with our members. But very clearly, policy outsets the times that they were allowed to use them, and if it is not an emergency situation, the expectation is they will not be outside of legislation, so they'll be on hands-free.
Now, as we mentioned, under the Traffic Safety Act, police and emergency personnel are exempt. They can respond to radio and cell phone calls as well as use their computers in their cars. It can also be a challenge in expected to do so unless it's an emergency. Distracted driving police have issued more than 600 tickets so far. Meanwhile, in London today, a touching tribute to the 55,000 men who died in the Allied Air Force bombing campaign in World War II. The Queen unveiled a stunning bronze statue today in Green Park to honor the airmen. Take a look at the roof of the structure, though. It has a unique Nanton connection. The aluminum used for the roof comes from the Bomber Command Museum from Nanton. The aluminum is from an aircraft shot down in 1944 in Belgium. The Halifax bomber was recovered, though, in the late 1990s in a bog. While some parts were salvaged, the remaining debris was melted into ingots. The large delegation from Canada was at today's unveiling. The site of a new temporary nature center will be open to the public next month. The facility is located just south of the high-level bridge in Indian Battle Park, and right now staff is in the process of moving over their exhibits, programs, and services from the Helen Schuler Cooley Center. The old building is now closed to undergo some massive renos. Nature Center volunteers and staff will operate out of the temporary facility until the upgrades are done. They say it's important to keep operational because they see about 30,000 visitors a year, including 10,000 students.
They're coming down either through their classes or through some of our children's programs that we're delivering. And so when I was talking about how our current facility isn't able to meet the needs of our current community, we have almost as many school groups in May and June on waiting lists as what we can actually accommodate in the building. And so, it was really important for us to still make sure that our community has access to those nature-based programs.
Once the renos are complete, the site will double in size. It's expected to be open by the spring of 2014. The temporary location will open to the public July the 14th. A local group is helping to stock the shelves of the food bank. Lethbridge Chamber of Commerce members loaded a truck full of groceries for the Lethbridge Food Bank. The organization holds a Dash for Cash each year where they collect funds for the food. And this year, they raised $775. The Northside Save on Foods donated an additional $250. More than $1,000 of canned goods were delivered to the food bank this morning.
This year we chose the food bank because we realized that it's very important to give back to the community, not just at Christmas, but at every time of the year. We need to support our community for its well-being.
This one will actually give us things that we don't normally get. So we specifically ordered chunky soup, which is really packed with all kinds of good stuff, and canned fruit, which is a treat for our clients. So it's fantastic.
And to the markets now, where it was a down day for the TSX, our dollar, and West Texas crude. Here's a look at the week's final numbers.